I'll wait.
We haven't had the proper political power in 60 years as a group of people. So
I like that. Well, now I want to
not to
ask.
actually make something happen.
I want to ask y'all. Do y'all think that? Because I had to like make fun of Plies a little bit because as soon as the election was over, he was suing a few rappers. It could have been gone, but I love how the headlines came out as soon as the election over because I don't see all these trollers and the Democrat what they call it tap dancers really trolling black people anymore, calling us stupid. Except Roland Martin, he's still calling everybody idiots on the internet every day. I don't think he's ever gonna stop. He's 24/7 around the clock. But do y'all think her endorsements kind of messed this up for her? Because a lot of people feel like, yo, we didn't need that, and it's embarrassing. And I hear that they're in debt. They
Oh
got
yeah.
some debt.
How you blow $1 billion and still wind up $20 million in debt? That's question number one. Question number two is why in the world would anybody take advice politically from somebody whose claim to fame is "Bust It, Baby"? Like, I mean, yeah, no, I think with Plies, it's a situation where he's been cosplaying like a goon for so long that people forget that he has a business degree. I also think that you have to understand and be a little bit more compassionate with the fact that he just lost his biggest bag. So of course he's gonna go sue because how else he making money? You're not buying them records.
Mm.
When the last time you played Becky? When anybody got Becky in their playlist right now on Apple Music? Is it even available right now? You know what I'm saying? He got me speeding in the fast lane, pedal to the. Oh wait, Nate Neo singing that part. I can't even tell you what the verses are. Like, let's not act like this dude is some type of bastion of hip hop. Whereas though he even said, like, this isn't even a situation where this dude has the or portrays the intellectual fortitude of someone like along the lines of a David Banner, where not necessarily every record is a hit, but you respect him because he actually does work in the community. What do you hear Plies doing? Anytime I've ever heard Plies say something is, "Hey baby, I want to have I want somebody to come out right now, baby. We're gonna be respectful. We're gonna take care. I need you for a video that nobody's gonna watch."
Mm. But how does it work though? Because I mean, I had people call me a MAGA agent, and I was like, I don't even know how to get money from a political party. Like, I'm just making content based off what I understand. So how do these people actually even get paid from these political parties? Like, how does that even work?
Bro, they know who to buy and who not to buy.
Mm.
They know who to reach out to and not to reach out to. If they thought that you were somebody who was corruptible enough, they would have reached out to you on either side of the aisle. And there's a lot more evidence pointing to the Kamala side than there is to the MAGA side. I'm not saying that MAGA doesn't pay people, but what I am saying is I've seen a ton of influencers from all different walks of life, black, white, female, red, non-binary, whatever you're calling yourself this week, getting bread to endorse Kamala. There's all different types of things. I've done videos about it. The gag is they thought that they were just going to ride influencers off into the sunset. But the truth of the matter is, if you can't complete a sentence, like I can't speak for nobody else. Did you send him the questions? Because I didn't get the questions. Did you send him the list of questions?
Yeah, you should have the list. Yeah.
I don't have a list of questions. So what I'm able to do is use the 2 square feet of real estate between my ears in order to answer the question that's being posed to me. Kamala can't do that. That's why she ran from Joe Rogan and went straight to Shannon Sharp. And that's not to say that Shannon Sharp isn't in fact sharp, but he ain't Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and
She's not
that's a
going to face
fact.
no scrutiny, and that's what
I
it is. So
think I think they ran a terrible campaign in that
horrible.
aspect, and that exact aspect that you're talking about. The way that they didn't break it down to the American people. They didn't speak to the American people. They didn't help you understand what they were putting out there, or they didn't keep you captivated enough for enough time telling you anything. Like, yeah, Trump did have a longer time frame, but the reason he won is because he spoke on the fact that things are not okay. And I think basic Americans can see that things are not okay when you go pump your gas and when you go pay rent.
You
Shit is
think
out of control.
you think a big thing was that he had more time and she kind of got thrown in there too late?
No, I think she got the stink of Joe Biden on her, and she didn't. When they asked her what would she do differently than Joe Biden, she said nothing.
Mm. Yeah, that
That
was a
right
stinger.
there lost her the election.
And I be having to point
And
that out to
Elon
people.
Musk, that and Elon Musk, bro.
I had to point that out to people when she said we're paving a new way forward, but she said she wouldn't have done nothing different. I try to like put the clips side by side and say, well, where were you going? Where do you think she was gonna take you guys? And then
Yeah.
whenever I would hear a celebrity and Dave, who's that? Who's the black girl? Malika? Is her name Malika Williams?
Who?
Malika, she's the one who was going back and forth with Roland for a while. The black girl, she was with Trump, and she
Oh,
spoke
you're
at a
talking
Trump
about
rally.
Michaela Montgomery.
Michaela Montgomery. She said something good. She said if abortion is the only health rate they can advocate to y'all, that is not healthcare or something of that nature. So whenever I would see a celebrity like Cardi or Megan Thee Stallion go up there, and the only thing they would talk about is abortion, I'm like, what is going on in a world where all these American people feel so many different things, and these are the only things that people can go up there and say? I thought that was really insulting. Truth be told, I thought that was very, very insulting. And when I hear people say, "Oh, y'all let women down," and then there was still a lot of women who voted Republican, I'm like, well, who are we talking to? You know what I'm saying? I feel like they've been trying to speak for the whole, and when there's still other, and that's why like the map, when you see how many states Republicans won, it's like you can't blame it on anybody because look how red this map is. This is proof in the pudding that something was just not right coming out their party.
Let's be honest. Our women, from what it seems on the internet. Now I'm only talking about the internet. They seem like they were duped by the white feminist, and the numbers kind of back that. Early Kamala campaign, you see white women out in droves saying, "Oh, get out, get on the phone, get on Zoom calls. We got 150,000 people on a Zoom call. You know, we're breaking numbers, we're breaking donating numbers." And then you look at the polls after the election, and it's, damn, she lost in white women. How is that even possible?
You know,
did they vote against their own interest, or did they just vote with their interest?
And I heard Tasha K say something good. She said a lot of y'all got paid to endorse Kamala Harris, and then y'all went and voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
A lot of the celebrities, I feel like a lot of them did that because I did not see anybody except Sexy Red with her booty cheeks out talking about I voted. But everybody else was endorsing her.
We're talking about people with money.
All of them
here. We're talking about people with a lot of money here, and a guy who's telling them, "I'm going to cut your taxes." Of course, they're going to go vote for him. They have money. They can get abortions. They can get on a plane and go get an abortion in New York, where it's always going to be legal.
No one's starting a GoFundMe for the cast of the Avengers.
Yeah, like, come on now. We got to stop. The main thing here is the Democratic Party did bad.
Yeah.
Let me, in layman's terms, they did bad.
And
Dave, it was your election to lose. The man already did January 6th. That is enough for you to talk to regular Americans. Go to those states that you think you have no chance of winning. Go talk to those people.
Right.
You don't have to be there forever. You have a jet. You can bounce state to state. You have helicopters. You have motorcades. You can bounce state to state and just talk to people. Do you know that he literally tried to go against what the Constitution of America says? He did the most un-American act you possibly can do.
Well, we're gonna get to Donald Trump. All right, we're gonna get to him. Let me ask y'all, what do y'all think they did with the $1 billion they spent on Miss Harris?
What you mean? You mean Mrs. Emhoff?
What do y'all think they did with the money?
Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla, they dropped $500,000.
They pocketed it, Jamon?
Come on now.
Hilarious. They that's hilarious, bro. They also, gave 6 figures to call her daddy, whatever podcast it is.
Jesus, no way.
Yeah.
And to get 70,000 views is insane.
To tell Joe no. I think at trying to get men to vote for her, if you really wanted men, you go to Joe Rogan. If you really wanted women, you go to Joe Rogan. If you want the American people, you go to Joe Rogan. He's number one. He's been number one for like 10 years now.
On Earth.
Like, he's him.
But wait.
He's him. They give him 9 figures every time they cut him a check. He's him. You go sit with that man. He's the son of hippies. He's a lifelong Democrat. Go sit with the man.
Right.
There's nothing else that you can gain from that but sitting with a Democrat. He's not gonna hurt you unless you give him a reason to, and you did.
But wait, y'all telling me making weed legal for black men wasn't enough? Like,
I'm sorry.
And $25,000 wasn't enough?
Like,
$25,000.
I'll say the dudes that's in jail could come home if she did that. So, round of applause.
What, the weed thing?
But what about cryptocurrency helps anybody in our community? Let's be honest. Like, we can get cryptocurrency now.
Wait, so if they would have made that weed legal, they would have had to let go everybody who's in jail for marijuana right now.
I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Pretty sure that would be how it would work. How are you going to hold somebody for something that's no longer legal? That's like, imagine prohibition was legal up until 1986. Then all of a sudden they stopped prohibition and find a way to make money off of alcohol, which they eventually did. Do you think the people who are still locked up for illegal bootlegging would still be locked up. You'd have a hard, like anybody on appeal could get that.
Yep.
Good
So
point.
it doesn't make any sense. The other part of that is, right, if you're not willing to talk to the American people about things that are tangible instead of things that don't make any sense, say you're going to put black male teachers in schools, not for them meager salaries, not for those headaches, not for that indoctrination camp where all you do is cut men off at the nuts. I'm a teacher, so you can say that to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm a college professor, but I am the son, grandson, nephew, stepson, and father of teachers. You can't tell me nothing about teaching in public school. I done seen it firsthand. I went to the worst high school in America. I've seen it as a student, and I've watched so many of my immediate family members do it, and all the BS they go through, and how every last one of them teachers unions is in bed with the federal government.
Wow.
Of course.
And so,
Of course, I work in a high school right now. What you see is a system that's set up to teach the kids one thing. There is no consequence to your action. And then when you leave the high school, you see there's nothing but consequences to your actions. These kids, they get in trouble in the streets, they come home immediately. Most of these kids do not stay nights in jail. They come home with an ankle monitor to continue to commit crime because there's no lessons. So then it goes into the schools. The kids, they don't go to class, they don't do their work because a lot of them can't read and write. It's a real problem in the inner city. Do you think that there's systems in place to fix that? No. They label you as a child with a disability, which is in my head, it doesn't make sense. That's not a disability. That's just a lack of learning. You just didn't teach them something. They don't have a disability. But of course, it's our kids. They're going to label them as having a disability. And then that just sets them up for the next place that they're going to go. Because if you look at the statistics, like you said, 33% of us is going to end up in jail. They got to have you stupid if you're going to end up in jail.
School to prison pipeline.
Most people with intelligence don't go to prison.
No. And most people with money don't do crimes.
Exactly.
That's how that works. So if you keep somebody broke and you keep somebody uneducated, guess what you're going to have?
Sound like slavery.
Going back to those amendments.
It sound like you niggas not gonna learn how to read and write, and you niggas ain't gonna make no money, and we gonna keep you in the same state that we had you in since you got off a boat.